What bloody man is that? He can report as seen it by his plight over the revolt of the new estate.
This is the Thane of Menteith, who like a good and hardy soldier fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend. Say to the king the knowledge of the broil as thou didst leave it.
Doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke their art. The merciless Macdonald, worthy to be a rebel, for that the multiplying villainies of nature do swarm upon him. From the western isles of kerns and gallow glasses is supplied, and fortune on his damned quarrel smiling, showed like a rebel's whore.
Dismay not this our captains, Macbeth and Banquo.
Yes, as sparrows eagles, or the hair of the lion, if I say sooth, then I shall report they were as cannons overcharged with double cracks. So they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe. For brave Macbeth, well he deserves that name, disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, which smoked with bloody execution. Like Valor's bidding, he carved out his passage until he faced the slave, which ne'er shook hands nor bade farewell, until he unseamed him from the nave to the chops.
Oh, Valley, how's gentlemen?
Ah, but I am fain. My gashes cry for help.
So well thy words become thee as thy wounds. They smack of honor both. Go, get him surgeons. Who comes here?
The worthy fate of Ross. God save the king.
Whence came thou, worthy thing?
From Fife, great king, where that disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict, till that Bellona's bridegroom, brave Macbeth, confronted him with self-comparisons, point against point, rebellious, arm against arm, curbing his lavish spirit, and, to conclude, the victory fell on us.
No more that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interest. Go, announce his present death. And with his former title, greet Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
Where hast thou been, sister? Killing swine. Sister, where thou? Look what I have. Show me. Show me. Here I have a pilot's thumb, wrecked as homeward he did come.
A drop! A drop! Macbeth doth come.
The weird sisters, hand in hand, hosters of the sea and land, thus do go about, about. Thrice to thine, thrice to mine,
And thrice again.
to make up 9. Peace. The charms wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen. How far is it called before us?
What are these, so wondrous and so wild in their attire, that look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on it?
Live you? Or are you aught that men may question? You should be women, yet your looks forbid me to interpret that you are so. Speak! If you can. What are you?
All hail, Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Gloves!
All hail, Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail, Macbeth! Thou shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical, or that indeed which outwardly ye show? My noble partner, you greet with present grace and great prediction of noble having and royal hope that he seems wrapped withal. To me speak not. If you can, look into the seeds of time and say which grape will grow and which will not. Speak then to me. We neither beg nor fear your favors nor your hate.
Hail!
Hail.
Hail!
Lesser than Macbeth, and greater.
Not so happy yet, much happier.
Thou shalt be king, so thou be not. So all hail, Macbeth. Macbeth.
Stay, you imperfect speakers, tell me more. By Sybil's death, I know I am Thane of Glass, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, a prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than to be Cawdor. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greeting. Speak, I charge you.
The earth hath bubbles as the water cracks, and these are off them. Whither are they vanished?
Into the air, and what seemed corporal melted his breath into the wind. Would they have stayed?
Were such things here, as we do speak about, or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
And Thane of Cawdor, too, whence it not so.
The self-same tuned words. Who's here?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success. And when he reads thy personal venture in the rebels' fight, his wonders and his praises do contend which should be thine or his. As thick as hail came post with post, and every one did bear thy praises in his kingdom's great defense, and poured them down before him.
We are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, only to herald thee in recite, not to pay thee.
And for an earnest of a greater honor, he bade me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor, in which addition, hail, most worthy Thane, for it is thine.
Can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you trust me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but treason's capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him.
Glamis and Thane of Cawdor, the greatest is behind. I thank you for your pains. Do you not hope that your children shall be kings, when those that promised the Thane of Cawdor to me promise no less to them?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you unto the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor. It is strange, and oftentimes, to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles to betray us in deepest consequence.
Cousins, a word I pray you.
Two truths are told, as happy prologue to the swelling act of the imperial theme. I thank you, gentlemen. This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth? I am the Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion, whose horrid image doth unfix my hair, and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man, that function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is but what is not.
Look how our partner's wrapped.
Chance may have me, king. Why, chance may crown me without my stir.
New honors come upon him, like our strange garments cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of use.
Come what, come may. Time and the hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
I beg your pardon, my dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Let us toward the king. Think upon what I chanced, and at later time, the interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts each to other very gladly. Till then, now. Come, friends!
Is execution done on Cawdor? Are not those in commission yet returned?
My liege, they are not yet come back, but I have spoken with one that saw him die, who did report that very frankly he confessed his treasons, implored your highness pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like believing it. He died as one that had been studied in his death, to throw away the dearest thing he owed as twere a careless trifle.
There's no art to finding the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Worthiest cousin, the sin of my ingratitude even now weighs heavy on me. Without its less, the proportion both of thanks and payment might have been mine. Only I have left to say. More is thy due, and more than all can bear.
The service and loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself. Your Highness's part is to receive our duties, and our duties are to your state and throne, children and servants, which do but what they should, by doing all things safe towards your love and honor.
Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee, and will labor to make thee full of growing. Ah, noble Banquo, thou hast deserved no less, nor must be known no less to have done so. Come, let me enfold thee and fold thee to my heart.
There, if I grow, the harvest is your own.
Sons, kinsmen, friends, and those of you whose places are the nearest. No, we will establish our state upon our eldest, Malcolm, who we will name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland. Which honor not unaccompanied invest him only, but signs of nobleness like stars shall shine on all deservers. Romance to eminence and bind us further to you.
The rest is labor, which is not used for you. I'll be myself the harbinger and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach. So humbly take my leave.
My worthy Cawdor.
The Prince of Cumberland. That is a step on which I must fall down. Or else, or leap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not night see my black and deep desires. The eye wink at the hand, yet let that be, which the eye fears when it is done to seek.
True, worthy Banquo, he is full so valiant, and in his commendations I am fed. It is a banquet to me. Come, let's after him whose care is gone to bid us welcome. It is a peerless kinsman.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfectest report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air into which they vanished. Whilst I stood, wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me and referred me to the coming on of time with Hail, King, that shalt be. This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou might not lose the dues of rejoicing at being ignorant of what greatness is promised to thee. Lay it to thy heart and farewell. Glamis thou art and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, or not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou holily. Wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Hide me, that I may pour my spirit in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden ground, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned upon. What is your tidings? The king comes here tonight. Thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with him? Who were so would have informed for preparation.
So please you, it is true. Our Thane is coming. One of my fellows had the speed of him, who almost dead for breath, had scarcely more than would make up his message.
Give him tending. He brings great news. spirits who tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood. Stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my women's breasts, and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold! Great cause, worthy God, greater than both by the all-hail hereafter, thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in an instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall son Admiral see. Your face, my thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Fair welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, be the serpent under it. That's coming must be provided for, and you shall lead this great night's business into my dispatch, which shall to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
This castle hath the pleasant seats. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses. Ah, see, our honored hostess. The love that follows us is sometimes our trouble, which we still think is love.
All our service in every point twice done and then done double, with poor and single business to contend against those honors deep and broad, wherewith your majesty loads our house.
Where's the thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at the heels and had a purpose to be his purveyor. Ah, but he rides well. And his great love, sharp as a spur, hath pulled him to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight.
Your servants ever have theirs themselves, and what is theirs in compt, to make their audit at your highness' pleasure, still to return your own.
Give me your hand. Conduct me to my host, whom we love highly, and shall continue our good graces toward him. By your leave, hostess.
Were done, when 'tis done, and 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could travel up the consequence and catch with his surcease success, yet but this blow might be the be-all and end-all here. But here, upon this bank and shoal of time, we'd jump at the like to come, that we but teach bloody instruction, which being taught returns to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the poisoned chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First as I am his kinsman and his servant, strong both against the deed, then as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath been so clear in his great office, born his faculties so meek, that his virtues will plead like angels trumpet-tongued, against the deep damnation of his taking off, and pity, like a naked newborn babe striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim horsed upon the sightless couriers of the air, shall blow the horrid deed in every eye. The tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other. How now? What news?
He's almost stopped. Why filth the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
No, you not, he has.
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Have it slept since, and waits it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou afeared to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteem the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon thy wood like a poor cat in the attic?
Prithee, peace! I dare do all that may become a man. He that dares do more is not.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be so much more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. Nor time nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that knows me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
If we should fail!
We fail! But screw your courage to the sticking place and will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto the rather shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him. His two chamberlains will I with wine and wassail so convince that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be a fume. And when in swinish sleep their drenched nature lies in death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? But not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
Will it not be received when we are marked with blood, these sleepy two, and use their very daggers that they have done?
Who dares receive it other, as we make our griefs and clamor roar upon his death?
I am settled, and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mock the time with fair shell. The false face doth hide, the false heart doth know.
How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
And she goes down at 12.
Take it as later, sir.
Heavy summons lies like bread upon me, and yet I will not sleep. Merciful powers, restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Who's here?
A friend!
Well, sir, not yet at rest. The king's abed. He hath been an unusual pleasure, and sent forth great largesse to your offices. This diamond he greets your wife withal by the name of most kind hostess, and shut up in measureless content.
Our will became subject to defect, which else freely should have wrought.
All's well. I dreamt last night of the three weird sisters. To you they have shown some truth.
I think not of them. Yet, when you can entreat an hour to serve, we should spend it in some time upon that business.
At your kind pleasure.
If you shall cleave to my consent when 'tis, it will make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, but still keep my bosom franchised and allegiance clear. I shall be counseled.
Well then, good repose the while.
Thanks, sir. Like to you.
Go, bid my mistress when my drink is ready, she strike upon the bell. Get thee to bed. Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle towards my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not, fatal vision, as sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat of pressed brain? I see thee yet, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshalest me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes are made fools of the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade are dungeon gouts of blood, which was not so before. There is no such thing. It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Thou sure, firm-set earth, hear not my steps, which way they walk, for fear thy very stones prate of my whereabout. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace! It was the hour of truth. The fatal bellman, which gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited brooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets. The death and the nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
Who's there? What hope?
That could have been their wit. It is not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. I laid their daggers ready. He could not have missed them. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I have doubt. My husband.
I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
Hear now, sir, the crickets cried. Did not you speak?
When?
No.
As I descended.
I-
Hark! Who lies in the second chamber?
Oh,
This is a sorry sight.
foolish not to say a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh in his sleep, and one cried murder, that they did wake each other. But I stood there as they said their prayers, and I trust them again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
And one cried, God bless us, and amen the other, as I stood there listening them with these hangman's hands. I could not say amen when they did say God bless us.
Consider not to
But wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I had much need of blessing, and yet amen stuck in my
These
throat.
days must not be thought after these ways, so will make us
I
mad.
thought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder, sleep. The innocent sleep. Sleep that knits up the raveled sleeve of care. In death of each day's life. Balm of hurt mind, sore labor's bath. Chief nourisher in life's feast. Still it cried, sleep no more to all the house. Glamis is murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no
Who
more.
was it that thus cried?
Ah.
Why were they unbend your noble strength, you still bring sickly of face. Go get some water, and wash the stony witness from your hands. Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go, carry them, and smear the sleeping girl with blood.
I'm afraid to think what I have done. Look once again, I dare not.
The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. It is the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I will gild the faces of the grooms with all for it must sing their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? How is't with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are these? They pluck out mine eyes. From all great Neptune's ocean, watch this blood clean from my hand. No, rather this hand will the multitudinous seas incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire me to our chambers. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy is it then? Your constancy have left you unattended. Get on your nightgown, lest occasion calls and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deeds, that's not to know myself. Wake dungeon with thy knocking. I would thou couldst.
Oh, there's a knocking indeed. Oh, if a man were porter of Hellgate, he should grow old turning the key. Knock, knock! Who's there in the name of Beelzebub? Faith, here's a farmer that hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Come in time, have napkins enough about you. Here you'll sweat for it. Oh, whew. Knock, knock! Who's there in the name of... What's the other devil's name? Oh, Faith, here's an equivocator who could swear in both the scales against either scale. Who'll come and get treason enough, for God's sake, but could not equivocate to heaven. Come in, equivocator. Knock, knock. Who's there, Faith? Here's him. He's an English tailor. Come in for stealing out of a French hole. Come in, tailor. Here you may roast your goose. Knock, knock. Never had a quiet. What are you? Well, this place is too cold for hell. I'll devil porter it no further. Anon, anon! I pray you remember the porter.
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed, that you do lie so late?
Ooh, merry sir, we were carousing until the second cock. And drink, sir, is a great provoker of three things.
What three things does drink especially provoke?
Ooh, merry sir knows painting, sleep, and urine. That's right, sir. It provokes and it unprovokes. It provokes the desire, but it takes away the performance. Therefore, much drink may be said to be an equivocator with lechery. It makes him and it mars him. Sets him on and it takes him off. Persuades him and disheartens him. Makes him stand to and not stand to. In conclusion, equivocates them in a sleep and gives them the lie, leaves them there.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
Ooh, that it did, sir, in the very throat on me. But I'm a quite an optimist lie, and I mean to suck up my legs sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I'll shut
It's my master stirring! Our knocking has awaked him. Come.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, friends.
Is the king stirring, worthy Thane?
Not yet.
He did command me to call timely on him. I have almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but yet it is one.
The labor we delight in is its pain. This is the door.
I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today? He does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down, and as they say, lamentings heard in the air. Strange screams of death and prophesying with accents terrible of dire combustions and confused events, new hatched to a woeful time. Some say the earth was feverous and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Oh, horror, horror, horror.
Tongue nor heart cannot conceive, nor name thee.
What's the matter?
Confusion. Thou hath made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke ope the Lord's anointed temple and stole thence the life of the building.
What did you say, Your
Majesty? Approach the chamber and destroy your sights with the new Gorgon. Do not bid me speak. See, then speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason! Banquo! Donalbain! Malcolm! Awake! Shake off this downy sleep, death's counterfeit, and look on death itself! Up! Up! And see the great doom's image! Malcolm! Banquo! As if from your graves rise up and walk like sprites to countenance this horror! Ring the bell!
What's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parley the sleepers of the house? Speak! Speak!
Oh, gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I may speak. The repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell. Oh, Banquo! Banquo! Our royal master's murdered.
What? In our house?
Too cruel anywhere! Dear Duff, I pray thee contradict thyself and say it is not so.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I have lived a blessed time. For from this moment there is nothing serious in mortality. All is but toys. Renown and grace is dead.
What is amiss?
You are, but do not know it. The fountain, the spring, the head of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father's murdered.
Oh, by whom? Those of his chamber, it seemed, had done it. Their hands and faces were badged with blood. So too were their daggers, which unwiped we found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life was to be trusted with them.
Oh, yet I do repent thee in my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise and amazed, temperate and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? No man. The expedition of my violent love outrun the pause of reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with golden blood, and the gashed stabs in him looked like a breach in nature for ruin's wasteful entrance. There the murderers, steeped in the colors of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refrain that in a heart to love, and in that heart courage to make love known?
Look to the lake!
Why do we hold our tongues that most may claim this argument for ours?
What should be spoken here, when our fate in an other hole may rush and seize us and us away? Our tears are not yet brewed,
nor our strong sorrow upon the foot of motion.
Look to the lady, and when we have our naked frailties hid, that suffer exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work. To know it further, fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense I fight a treasonous malice.
And so do I.
So all!
Let us briefly put on manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
Well attended.
Makayla and I. Our separated fortunes shall keep us both safer. Where we are, there are daggers and men's smiles. The near in blood, the nearer bloody.
This murderous shaft that shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore to horse. Let us not be dainty of being taking one shift away. There's warrant in that theft which steals itself when there's no mercy left. How goes the world, sir, now?
Why, see you not?
Is it known who did this more than bloody deed?
Those whom Macbeth hath slain.
Alas, the day, what good could they pretend?
They were suborned. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's two sons, are stolen away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
Against nature still. Thriftless ambition that will raven up thine own life's means. Then 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He is already named, and gone to Scone to be invested.
Will you to Scone?
No, cousin. I'll to fight.
Well, I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there, as you, lest our old roads sit easier than our new.
Farewell.
Now, King Cawdor wrongs all as the mere women promised, and I fear thou play'dst most foul for it. Yet it was said it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If there come truth from them as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine. Why, by the verities on thee made good, may they not be blind oracles as well? It set me up in hope. Hush. No more.
Here's our chief guest.
Had he been forgotten, it had been as a gap in our great feast, and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, and we will request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to the which my duties are with the most indissoluble tie forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon.
Aye, my good lord.
We else should have desired your good advice, which has been both grave and prosperous in this day's council. But we'll take tomorrow. Is far you ride?
As far, my lord, as the time twixt this and supper. Go not my horse, the better. I must become a borrower of the night for a dark hour between.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide, filling their hearers with strange invention. But of that tomorrow, where we shall have cause of state craving us jointly. Adieu, till you return to us at night. Goes Fleance with you.
Aye, my good lord. Our time is called upon us.
I wish your horses swift and sure of foot, and so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. Let every man be master of his time till 7 at night, to make society the sweeter welcome. We will keep ourselves till supper time alone. Well then, God be with you. Sirrah, a word with you. Tend those men our pleasure.
They are, my lord, without the palace gate.
Bring them before us. thus is nothing. But to be safely thus, our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. There is none but he whose being I do fear. He chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me, and bid them speak to him, and then, prophet-like, they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they put a hollow crown, and put a fruitless scepter in my grip, thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand. No son of mine succeeding. If it be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan have I murdered, put rancors in the vessel of my peace for them, and given my eternal jewel to the common enemy of man to make them kings, the seed of Banquo kings. Rather than so, come fate to the list, and champion me into the utterance. Who's there? Go to the door and stay there till we call. Well then, wasn't that yesterday that we spoke together?
It was, so pleases your highness.
Have you considered on my speeches? Know that it was he in times past who held you so under fortune that you thought had been our innocent self. This I made clear to you in our last conference, that all things that like to have a soul and a notion praise say, thus did Banquo.
You made it known to us.
I did so and went further. Do you find your patience so predominant in yourselves that you can let this go? Are you so gospeled to pray for this good man and for his issue, whose heavy hand hath led you to the grave and beggared yours forever?
We are men, my liege.
Aye, in the catalogue ye go for men as hounds and greyhounds, spaniels, mongrels, curs, shuffs and water rugs, wolves and demi-wolves, all are cleft by the name of dogs.
I am one, my liege, whom the vile blows and buffets of the world have so incensed that I am reckless what I do to spite the world.
And I another, so weary with disasters, tugged with fortune, that I would set my life on any chance to mend it or be rid on.
Both of you know that Banquo was your enemy.
True, my lord.
And so is he mine. And in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrust against my nearest of life, and though I could with barefaced power sweep him from my sight and bid my will about it, yet I must not, for certain friends who are both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, but wail his fall, who I myself have struck down. And thus it is that I to your assistance do make love, masking the business from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command of us.
So our lives.
Your spirits shine through you. Within this hour, I will advise you where to plant yourselves, acquaint you with the perfect spy of the time, the moment on't, for it must be done tonight. And something from the palace always thought that I would acquire a clearness. And with him, to leave no rubs, no botches in the work. Fleance, his son, keeps him company, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart. I'll come to you anon.
We are resolved, my lord.
Abide within. It is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it finds heaven, must find it out tonight.
Banquo gone from court? Aye, madam, but returns again tonight.
Say to the king I would attend his leisure for a few words.
Madam, I will.
without regard. What's done is done.
We have scotched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor malice remains in danger of her former tooth. But let the frame of things disjoint. Both the worlds suffer, ere we will eat our meal of fear and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead, who we to gain our peace have sent to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst. Nor steel, nor poison, malice domestic, foreign levy, nothing can touch him further.
Come on. Gentle, my lord. Sleek o'er your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial amongst your guests tonight.
So shall I, mother. And so I pray be you. Let your remembrance of my Banquo present him evidence, both eye and song, and make our faces visitors to our hearts, disguising what they are.
You must leave this.
Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou knowst that Banquo and his Fleance live.
But in them nature's copies, not eternal.
There's comfort yet. They are assailable. Be thou jocund. For ere the bat hath flown his cloister flight, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Innocence of the knowledge, dearest child, till thou applaud the deed. Come, sealing night, and scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand cancel and tear to pieces this great bond which keeps me pale. Night thickens, and the wing makes way to the rooky wood. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, while night's black agents to their praise do rouse. Thou marvelest at my words. But hold thee still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by him. So prithee go with me.
But who did bid thee join with us?
Macbeth.
He needs not our mistrust, since he delivers our offices and what we must do to the direction just.
Then stand with us. The west yet glimmers with some streaks of day. Now spurs the belated traveler apace to gain the timely inn. And near approaches the subject of our watch.
Hark! I hear horses! With light there! Ho!
'Tis he.
His horses go back.
Light.
'Tis he.
Stand to it.
There will be rain tonight.
Let it come down.
Oh! Treachery! Fly from Wales! Fly! 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 Thou mayst revenge! Oh, snake! No! No!
There's the one down. The sun is fled.
You lost that half part there.
Fleance escaped! Then comes my fit again. I had else been perfect, as founded as the rock, whole as the marble, as broad and general as the casing air. But now, in my cabin's confined, cribbed, bound into saucy thoughts and fears. There's Banquo, with 20 trenchant gashes on his head, the least death to nature. There the grown serpent lies, the worm that's fled, hath venom that in time will nature breed. No teeth for the present,